Hey everyone, we're having a nice, pretty warm January day. It's been the weather has been pretty chilly the past few weeks, but it's like 60 degrees out right now. So I thought, what a better time to install my new WiseCracker bottle opener. Yeah, so I got this thing for Christmas, and I've been really excited to put it on and get it installed. And it is a very simple installation process. All that we need to install this thing, it installs to our headset, by the way. All we need is 6mm Allen key and either channel locks or an adjustable wrench. I'm using channel locks because my adjustable wrench that I have is not actually large enough to fit around my headset. Normally I'd be a little wary about using something like this to remove any kind of nut, because of worrying about stripping out the ends, but we only need to apply just a little tiny bit of pressure to remove the top nut on our headset. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to remove our handlebars. That will give us access to our headset bolt. We'll take that off. We will put our WiseCracker bottle opener in place. Then we just put it all back together. So first thing I'm going to do, I got my 6mm Allen key right here. I'm going to take out this little plug that protects this stem bolt here. So I'm going to loosen this up, and if you guys have ever adjusted your handlebars, you know that you don't want to loosen this thing out all the way because you're going to drop that wedge anchor. And I'll show you what happens if you do loosen it up all the way. Of course, I'm not going to loosen it up all the way. Okay, that was a little bit there, and now, all right. So the way this works, there's this this wedge bolt right here. If we were to loosen this up all the way, then our bolt would come out, and then this would fall off down in there. I've done that so many times in the past, and it's always really hard to get it back out. So yeah, it's really important that we don't loosen that bolt up all the way and lose this. So now that this is off, I'm going to set it off to the side, just let it hang loose for just a few minutes. Alright, now we need to take off our top bolt here. We have two nuts that are for our headset here. There's a nut, then there's like a little spacer piece and another nut. We want to leave that bottom one alone. We only want to move our top one. So just to get it started, put this on my crescent, or my, well, it's crescent, but these are channel locks. I'm going to put that on the top. And okay, that is nice and loose. I should be able to get it by hand. Alright, that's off. And see, we have a little tiny spacer piece here. I'm going to leave that in. You can see there's a little, there's that little piece that hangs out. And then there's also there's a little notch for it, for that part that sticks out. So we want to leave that spacer piece in there. That's really important. So now, I'm going to take my WiseCracker bottle opener, and I'm going to put it right in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the headset nut back on. I'm going to tighten it down a little bit, not super tight, because I want to make sure that I can open up a beer with not too much getting in the way. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So with the cables, I think I do want it. I think I do want it off to the left just a little bit. Probably just like that. Maybe off to the side. I kind of like it at an angle. I think, if I had it on the side, a bottle of beer might get in the way. That fork there might get in the way of the bottle. So I'm going to put it right here. The cables will be a little bit in the way, but they can just move out of the way. So that is exactly where I want it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to finish tightening this all the way down. I don't want to over tighten it. We don't want to over tighten our stem bolt, or our stem nut. So that'll make it really hard to steer, and we don't want to strip the ends off. So, all right, I think that is probably pretty good. So now I'm going to slide handlebars back in. And I can kind of see where they were before. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to stand with the bike between my legs just like this. I want to line up the front tire and the handlebars together with the rest of the frame. And I also want to keep the bars so they're at that level I had them at before, which was right about there. If your handlebars, if you can't tell, you'll probably want to put like some electrical tape or something around them so you know exactly where they were before. Mine, I mean, this is a fairly old bike. It's at least 10 years old, so there's a little line that I can tell where I've had it. Alright, so I'm holding that in place exactly where I want it. My tire is lined up with my front tire is lined up with the frame. It looks like the handlebars are lined up, so I'm going to put my 6mm Allen key back in there. Oop, that dropped down a little bit. That looks to be pretty much where I want it at. And if I'm off, I can just loosen them up and raise the bars. Alright, we want to tighten this down. You actually want to get this tightened down pretty well, the stem bolt. Because if you don't, then, you know, you'll go to steer your bike and your handlebars will move, but your front wheel might not move exactly where you want it to go. Happens a lot with department store bikes. You know, those guys that put them together, they may know how to put it together, but they don't know how to do it very well. So lots of times you see people with Walmart bikes, and you know, the handlebars will do things like that. Alright, that's pretty tight. So, I'm just going to put my little cover back on, stem bolt. That feels a little loose, but it'll, that's good. I remember it kind of felt loose last time I took it off, but alright, so that's it, we're all done. Our WiseCracker is installed. What do you say we have a beer? Alright, so that's how you install the WiseCracker bottle opener. Pretty cool. I can already tell how this is going to be handy for me. You guys may be wondering why I'm drinking Early Riser coffee porter instead of like Fat Tire, which I joke around and say that it's the official beer of bicyclists everywhere. No, I really like Fat Tire. It's one of my favorite beers. However, this Early Riser coffee porter here, this is, you know, it's from Boulevard, local to Kansas City. The coffee that they got to make this is from a local company here in Lenexa, just down the street from where I live. Velo Plus is the name of the bike shop, and it's also a coffee shop, Maps Coffee Roasters. Maps Coffee Roasters roasted the coffee for them, so I'm drinking the beer of the bike shop, if you wanted to consider it that. So, yeah, and well, I just realized this sounded like an advertisement, but I'm not being paid to do this. I'm just saying that I like good beer, and I like local business, and I like coffee, and yeah, cool. So, alright, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more bike fun, and I will see you next time. Cheers.